Couple of questions.
Excited, back full tilt, some game situations. I thought we played fast. I thought the scrimmage started off, and you said who won the scrimmage. It's kind of different parts. I thought the defense came out really fast. Probably through 4 series, we gave up a field goal, and that was it. And then the offense really got going. It got going because we started getting the ball to Josh Kelly. Man, he made some amazing plays, and more than just catches. He made routine catches, but man, he made some really great moves in space, and he got us going. And so the offense really got rolling. And then we did our red zone lockout, which is, we always end our scrimmages that way. First one to 18, put the ball on the 20-yard line, and the offense dominated. We had a touchdown with the ones by Brady Boyd, go up 6-0. With the twos, he came back and caught another touchdown to go up, 12. And then right at the end, very first play with the threes, Trey Jackson, 20-yard touchdown to win 18-0. And so really happy we came out. We were having some bumps and bruises, but nobody, didn't finish the scrimmage that, we started and finished. So that's always good whenever you go live. And it was, I thought it was really good. I thought it was back and forth. You saw some really good things, and then, the things that we got to work on. You had too many pre-snap penalties, and that was both sides of the ball. And that's always our number one. Don't beat yourself. You don't want any self-inflicted wounds, and so you're going to get that usually the first scrimmage. So we got to see that a big improvement with that in the second scrimmage, and then whoever started fast, they need to finish better, and then who didn't, who kind of got started at the end or finished strong at the end, they got to start faster. It's always tough when you're playing yourselves, but I was excited. I thought it went really well. With that, any questions?
Joey, following up on Brady Boyd for a moment, what two-part question. One,
Yep.
What were the lengths of his touchdown passes, and two, what do you kind of see his role being right now? You've said in the past that he can play anywhere in the offense.
Yeah, that's what's great. The first touchdown he caught from the outside, it was probably about a 12-yard touchdown. And then the second, he was playing the slot, and that was like a 4-yard touchdown. We had got a penalty. We lined up off sides. It was third down, and so it moved the ball closer, and he caught the ball in the back of the end zone. The great thing about him, and he's a coach's kid, I've known him his entire life, and after he gets through playing, and hope he has an opportunity to play for a long time, but after he gets through playing, he wants to coach, and so that's what's really special about him. He could play all 4 positions, put him inside and outside on either side of the ball, but really good scrimmage, and he was another one. Thought, at the first, the receivers, all of them started slow, some drops, some plays that we should have knifed upfield to get more yards, but man, they really came on strong.
Coach, how did you think the offensive line fared during, game or simulated game reps today?
Yeah, I thought they did a good job, especially the ones, and the majority of the twos, because the ones and the majority of the twos are older guys. The threes, they're both young groups. I thought both sides did a good job, but I thought the ones, whenever we didn't get started off fast, I don't think it was necessarily because we had pressure, in Barron's face or anything. We just, would either turn the ball over on downs or we had a couple of drops. But I thought they did a good job. The biggest thing right now with our offensive line, whenever you look, Ty Buchanan's starting at right tackle right now. And I expect that he can hold everybody off there, but he's played in games, but not a lot of them. And then you got today at right guard was Caleb Rogers. Now he's played a ton, so you expect a lot. Center was Sheridan Wilson, and I think he's doing a really good job. He's having a great spring football. And then Vinny's playing at left guard. He started 30-something games, and then you had Sterling, who started, I think, 28 games. So I felt good about that. Next week we'll kind of shake it up. Caleb would get a little bit more center. So Davion Carter, he was playing right guard with the twos. He'll play some right guard with the ones, with Caleb moving over to center, and then Sherry will go with the twos. They'll all kind of mix in and go with the ones. But I felt, the stuff that we didn't convert on first downs, it wasn't necessarily the pressure that they were getting on the quarterback.
Kind of a couple follow-ups on the offensive line. Could Davion snap at center, and how has Caleb handled the move to interior offensive?
Yeah, it's growing with Caleb. The things that he does really well, I expected him to do well from the standpoint of, he's in a phone booth, so his pass blocking is really good whenever it comes to guard and center. It changes because he's so much more athletic than interior, usually defensive linemen. So he's really done a good job. He's doing a good job running the inside zone. Our gap schemes is where he's learning, because whenever you're running gap schemes and you're at tackle, you're reading a block versus you're the first thing hitting when you're at guard, like you're the kick out. And so you got to get up in the line of scrimmage. You can't give ground. He's doing a good job, but if he was probably in here, he would tell you where he's got to get better is at the point of attack, kicking out. That's just timing and him understanding that. Davion, the week 1 and some of this week played center also. We wanted to keep kind of everybody in the spot today and not switch them out. We'll do that kind of in the live, but he played center week 1, did a really good job, and first of the week, I mean, he can play center without a doubt. The 3 guys that we're trying to really figure out of, who's going to be our center, Sherry and Caleb and Davion, and then who's going to be the guard between, Caleb and Davion.
Coach,
What
curious
about-
on your thoughts on Case and Long?
Yeah, we're a little banged up. Like they'll be back, but we're a little banged up at outside linebacker, and then we're already down, 2, with Isaac and Joe only doing individual. Isaac Smith and Joe, and so Case and Long actually played some field outside linebacker today, and he's done that. That's a great thing about recruiting small town kids is they're used to playing both ways, and so they don't blink. Guys usually that are coming from bigger schools, they've never done that, so it's kind of sometimes odd to them, and they're not as receptive of doing that. So he played outside linebacker today, and he did a good job. Case is one of those guys. He's got an infectious personality. Like he's all about the team. He's fired up to be a Red Raider, and so he'll get some of that until we get. Dylan Spencer got banged up early in the week. He'll be back. It's nothing that we just held him from a scrimmage because he's banged up, and so that add another guy in there. And Isaiah Crawford didn't practice today. He's got some tendonitis in his knee that's got a lot of soreness, and so we'll get him back. But we held both of those guys out for scrimmage.
So Kason, is that a temporary thing, or is that something where if he shows something, you could leave him there?
Yeah, just his body type, and he's athletic, and right now he's like 260 pounds, and so he's the great thing about him mid-year, and he's really getting stronger, and he's gaining weight. But if he's a guy, because that's we have a lot of guys that can play the boundary backer, really, everybody besides Amir, we really don't want him over there. And so if we could pick up another guy, the other guy that's not, I didn't say this guy, but another one is Sam Carroll. He's still coming off of a foot injury that happened right before the bowl game. And we should get him back, I would say, in the next week. At very worst, get the last week of spring. So the outside linebackers are thin right now. And so if he does show promise, then, we'll leave him there.
We talked a lot about kind of the receivers that y'all brought in, but some of the guys coming back like Kelby and TJ.
Yeah.
What do you want to see from them kind of throughout the spring? They can kind of assert themselves in the rotation.
Yeah, Kelby had a really good day today. If you said in the first 2 series what receiver was playing the best and playing the fastest was Kelby. Kelby had some really big catches, and did a really good job. TJ had some 50-50 balls, and man, it was great coverage, and he went up, kind of right there in the end zone. We couldn't come down with him. I thought it was, it's 50-50 ball, and we lost the 50-50. Right now, that's good because that means we're winning the right side on the defensive side. But both of them are with the 2s. They're playing really fast. I thought Kelby had a really, really good day. Kelby, it's fun because the first day of spring football on a Tuesday, I didn't think he was playing really fast. I don't know if it was confidence or what. And so we moved him. We go 2 practices at a time. Y'all seen, like, we go our red field and the black field. So we moved him over to the black field, which is our 3s and 4s. He had a really good day on that, and then came back the very next practice on the red field, and it was like almost like gave him a boost of confidence because he's been on the red field the last like 2 or 3 practices, and he showed up today.
And I'm wondering about the DBs. So Isaiah's the only one that enrolled mid-year.
Yeah,
right?
boss. Yeah.
And so, I mean, you've got 4 others who aren't here right now, but you kind of see what they're doing in track and kinda how they're doing their own thing. I
Yeah.
guess, do you feel like it's a bit of a caveat that they're not getting this right now, but they're still kind of, they're doing their own thing, but is that kind of a caveat to recruiting those kind of guys?
Yeah, I mean, Malik, he was here today for the scrimmage, and, he's got the 3rd fastest time in the nation in the hurdles. So, when you've got guys, for us, we always tell them it's always up to you if you want a mid-year. I don't want to try to recruit and convince guys that, but anytime a kid can win a state championship or has the opportunity to win a state championship, go to state in the spring, I don't want to take that away from them, and Malik has a great chance to do that. Same thing with Peyton. Peyton's got one of the fastest times in the nation in the hurdles also, and so those guys are doing a great job. Eddie and Charles, they were both big basketball players for their team, and so you don't want to take that away from those guys, and it's going to be good to get them, but it's also one of those deals, if you're recruiting fast guys, you want them running in the track meets they're running at, the times they're running at, and having a chance to run at state, and so you won't have to worry about really getting them faster. It's just learning the playbook and everything like that. I will tell you, Malik, man, it's like he's grown another inch, and man, it was really good to see him. Just his presence today, you can see he's growing up, and I can't wait to get him here.
Got time for a couple
Joey,
more.
back to offensive line for a
Yeah.
moment. What's the competition like at left tackle?
Man, it's strong. I think if you say who's winning today, and we go play, it's going to be Sterling. I mean, I think he's ahead. He's a guy that's played a lot more football than Mo. But it's great to have Mo. The good thing with him is he's learning fast. He's a large human being. I mean, I think he's 6'5", 6'6". He truly weighs 340 pounds right now. He'll continue to work that into, like, I don't care. If he weighs 340, that's great. We just wanted the best 340. But if we were playing right now, Sterling would be the starting left tackle. Just his experience, and man, he's doing some great things. Mo gets out there, though. It's tough to rush against Mo because he's so big, so he just kind of covers people up. And that's something, I think we're creating some great competition, and we're going to have some really strong offensive linemen, but we're also being able to create some depth with the guys that we're playing, having in the 1s and the 2s. And, man, I've been proud of the young guys like Jacob Ponton. Man, the kid's doing some great things, I mean, of course, you don't want to play any freshmen, and we don't expect to, but man, he's going to be really good, and and then you got Ellis Davis coming in May, and so we're getting a lot bigger and a lot longer in the offensive line.
And what has Sheridan's development been like? Because remember, a couple of years ago, Hamby was really high on him.
Yeah.
It's really...
So I always look at offensive linemen is you've got to be like, there are very few freshmen that can play, but there are freshmen out there that do. And then your redshirt freshman year, I still think that you're in a developmental phase and guys are out there. But your redshirt sophomore year, 3 years in the program, you should be playing. Like this is your time. You've been in college for 3 years. You've been on the training table for 3 years. You've been in the weight room for 3 years, and he's really having a great spring. I wouldn't say that he's the surprise because he had such a great off season. He's got a lot stronger. He is over 300 pounds. He's carrying over 300 pounds for the first time since he's been here. He's knocked at the door and then dropped, or he would be like at 292 and fluctuate. He's been over 300 pounds every way in, and so that just shows his maturity in his body and just in his mind, the way he's doing things.
Coach, entering year 3, you got a few guys in the pro day as well doing their thing. No Rabbit this year, but how does Easter look for you this year?
Man, it's going to be good to take a break and relax. The guys got a couple days off, and then we'll come back and get after it Monday afternoon. Now, I will tell you this: I was excited. One of the guys that I know really well that did a lot for me whenever I was at Cedar Hill training my guys, actually trained Xavier White for his pro day. His name is Ryan Menzel, and he told me, he goes, "Just get ready. X is going to run well." And I suggested X go to Ryan, and so He did. You know, he went out and ran a very fast time, and I'm fired up for that kid because I think he's a guy that, you know, he was out here at practice, and I put my arm around him. I said, man, no matter what it is, if you get the opportunity, you know, do it as long as you can because life's waiting for you on the other side. So if it's in the NFL or if it's in the new, USFL or whatever we call it, you know, I really do think he's going to get an opportunity. I think it's going to be with an NFL team, and he's kind of a Swiss Army knife. Y'all seen him. He returned punts. He's got great hands. He could even play a little bit out of the backfield. But I was fired up to see how he ran. Really excited for him.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank y'all.
Thanks,
Great
Coach.
seeing y'all.